Hey everyone, it's Kerry. How are you? I'm going to talk about some energy clearing stuff today. And before I get started, I'm just going to share this into my group. So give me a second while I get that done. Okay, good. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Kerry Miller. I'm a Feng Shui expert, and I show women how to arrange their spaces so they're set up for joy, ease, and prosperity, and that they help support you so that you're feeling energized and uplifted. And in my group this week, I've been talking about energy clearing, which is a part of Feng Shui. We're always working with energy in Feng Shui and shifting the way that it flows and realigning it so that it is, a nice high vibration that helps us attract it to, the things that we want to us. And energy clearing is this technique of clearing out old energy. It's like, kind of like energy can settle and it sticks around in a place, and you want to clear out the energy often just to kind of invite in fresh, vital chi that will bring in new energy, new life, new opportunities, and all of that. And so we've been talking about energy clearings, and there's lots of people who do a space clearing or an energy clearing on their own house. There's lots of different tools that you can use. A lot of people will smudge with a bundle of sage, or you can use salt or crystals, lots of different ways to do it. And many people do it on their own, and I think that's great. But the title of this video is 3 reasons why you should let somebody else clear the energy of your space. And let me talk about that because I think it's important. First, I want to say that many of the well-known worldwide masters of space clearing and energy clearing will recommend right off the bat that you not do your own energy clearing. And some of them actually do that right in their very own book where they're teaching energy clearing. They believe that you should be professionally trained and have lots of experience before you actually clear the energy of a space. And I gotta be honest, I don't really buy into that, and I never really have. I read a lot of books about energy clearing, and I think that it's wise for you to clear your own energy and to practice your tools and to trust your intuition and your guidance. And I was professionally trained as part of my Feng Shui practice, and I've studied lots of books and just sought out information about this practice because I think it's powerful and it is a part of what I offer. And I decided a long time ago that I wanted to make it available to people, and so that people were able to use, their skills to kind of work their own magic in their spaces. So, there's a whole chapter about energy clearing in my book, Feels Better, Flows Better. There, I have an ebook available on my website that talks about energy clearing practices and gives you some opportunity to learn about it and practice it on your own. I talk about it a lot in the Feng Shui for Joy group. I also, in many of my private group programs, I will facilitate people and lead them through the energy clearing process. So I really do believe that it is something that you can do on your own, and I think it's important to do on your own. I really do think that you should be clearing the energy of a space often, after a really intense meeting, or after you've had company, or on the full moon. Lots of different times where you can really clear the energy and make your space feel so much better because you've done that, and really open up your, call in new chi that can bring new opportunity to you. It's a really important part of the Feng Shui process. But there are some situations where I think it's important for somebody else to do the energy clearing for you. And I'm going to talk through that and give you some of the reasons why. There are some really heavy-duty energy clearing situations. If there's been, first of all, if you're moving into a new place, someplace where somebody else has lived in for, 5, 10, 15, 20 years, their energy is in that space. There's whatever events or traumas happen to them in that space, you want to clear it out. And I think that that's a pretty intense level of energy. lots of different layers that need to be cleared. So if you're moving into a new space, I think it's a great idea to let somebody else do the energy, somebody with experience do the energy clearing for you. And, you know, in your own situation, if in your own home, if there has been, you know, maybe a prolonged experience of stress, you know, maybe it's financial stress, maybe it's a job loss, it could be, you know, marital unrest, and maybe even going through the divorce process. It could be an illness, prolonged illness of somebody who's been in that space. Or even if somebody has experienced loss and a family member has passed on, and there's been a lot of energetic grief, grief and trauma around that situation. Those energies, it's energy that we're experiencing, those emotions that we're experiencing as we go through those life events is very traumatic, and that energy dissipates, those emotions dissipate. And they transmute into energy in our space, and it can be really heavy and it can stick around. And so those layers of energy can be a lot more intense to clear. And so I do think that calling in somebody who is an expert, it will give you a different level of clearing of the space. And in those situations, it's good to just kind of take your hands off the steering wheel and let somebody else do that, because you've already been through the event itself. And that leads me to number 2, which is about the fact that you kind of have blind spots around your own life event situations, right? We all say love is blind. We all say, we can't see our own blocks and energetic blocks around a situation that kind of get us into the situation in the first place. And that is true about energy clearing as well. It's almost like there's a set point or a level of visibility, or a level that you're at that the universe allows you only so much to see. I hope I'm making sense here. But you've been through the experience. You've actually suffered the trauma yourself, and it's hard for you to be able to clear the energy without kind of being in the middle of it. So. And often you're also kind of numb, because when you're in your space all the time. I work from home, so I'm in my home probably, 20 hours a day, right? So I'm here all the time, and I get kind of numb to the energy. Like you get this set point, you develop a set point around the energy that you are in all the time. And so it's almost like a numbness. And so you're not as capable, as you're doing the energy clearing, of sensing the different fluctuations in energy as you move through and do the energy clearing. And so I think that your ability to successfully clear the space, or to clear the space at the best ability, the best rate, is a little bit more challenging for you. And let me give you an example of that, right? So we all clean the house, right? Just a physical cleaning of the house. And I know, there's areas that I focus on all the time. I'm always focusing on the counter. I always make sure the kitchen sink is clean. There are parts of the bathroom that I make sure are clean all the time. But there's also this blind spot of places that I just don't really pay as much attention to. And I've had house cleaners come in, and the difference in the cleaning is remarkably different, even though I'm keeping up with it all the time, even though I'm putting in the same number of hours. It is a different skill set, a different level of being able to notice what needs the attention and what doesn't. Our cleaning lady has cleaned the toaster. She makes the toaster sparkle, like cleans out all the crumbs and makes it really sparkle. And that is just something that I do not have the bandwidth for in my own life. So there is a different level of energy clearing that will happen when somebody else, somebody with a different skill set or different experiences, will come in and just give you a different level of cleaning. Robin says, good analogy. Thanks. Yeah, I was trying to think of something that I could help explain it with. But there are just different energy. There's different experience and different energy levels and different set points. Like, I can tolerate a certain amount of dirt and dust in my house, and I do. But when the house cleaner comes in, she does not. So, it just gets done. So it is a really important thing to consider. You can certainly do your own energy clearings. In fact, I recommend, even when I'm hired by somebody to do an energy clearing, my recommendation would be that you have somebody come in professionally at least once a year, maybe every other year if there's nothing major going on, and have it done by an experienced energy clearer, and then you maintain it in the middle. And so I will do the energy clearing for my clients, and then I'll give them some tips and tools on how to keep it clean and maintained throughout that process. Robin says you need both. Yes. So it's just a good thing to do, and to think about it on those terms. Clearing your space on a physical level is one thing. Clearing your space on an energetic level is a totally different thing. And if you can have the experience of having both things done at the same time, that's amazing, right? And it really sets you up with such a high vibe energy, and a lightness and a freedom that you don't normally have when you're kind of caught up in the, I guess I want to say, in the muck of the day-to-day energy. And then there's a third point that I want to talk about today, and it kind of relates back to that, but it's just the level of training and experience that somebody who does energy clearings on a professional basis can bring in versus doing it yourself. First of all, I have cleared in numerous different settings, whether it's houses to corporate buildings, to old mills, things like that. So I have an experience with different levels of spaces and how to clear that. Also clearing after different situations. I've already dealt with clearing situations after somebody has passed in the space or after there's been a deep illness. And there is a level of recognition that you get, that you start to work with and understand as you experience those things as a clearer yourself, which makes you more aware of those energies that present themselves as you're going through a clearing in somebody else's home. So I would probably be able to identify a lot more things going on in your space energetically and intuitively than you can on your own. And so, and that's why I think it's important to have somebody else come in. Even if you were to have a friend come in and do an energy clearing for you, they're going to pick up different types of energy and be able to clear that out than what you would recognize, right? Because your set points are at different places. So I definitely, with my clients, recommend, at least once a year, having somebody come in and do a real good energy clearing of the space, and then maintaining your space energetically on your own on a monthly basis or on the solstices, those types of things. It's just an amazing process. Every time I talk about energy clearing in my group, there's 20 people who jump in and say, oh my gosh, my space feels so much better after I've done an energy clearing. And I just want you to know that your space will feel even better if you have somebody else come in and do the energy clearing for you. I do offer energy clearings. I offer them on-site or remotely, and I offer them as part of Feng Shui or separate from Feng Shui. So I would love to talk to you if you're interested in having to knowing more about energy clearing and whether it's right for you. I'm just going to post a link in the comments, and you can set up a chat with me. That's all. I wanted to pop in and talk about that today. I hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you again soon. Take care. Bye.